It's time for the shop report with
Barbershop Shay.
What up, sports fans? Welcome to the Shop Report with Barbershop Shay, your host for the day, alongside D. Gully, and as always, Coach D. And here's what's happening. Well, as you all know, I said that on the last show. Me.
Want cookie? Chips and what?
Meanwhile, back at the ranch. Meanwhile, back at the ranch. Well, here it is. We are here, 2 days away from the NBA draft.
Where was you at, man?
Yeah, where was you at? Yeah, right.
Out of y'all, right?
Yeah, basically.
Right.
I don't see you looking no different to me. Anywho, now that the NBA draft, like I said, is upon us, so basically 2 days away, we decided we sit down and give you all our take, as usual, on the ins and the outs, the ups and the downs, and the makes, the misses, surrounding the NBA draft and the Cleveland Cavaliers. So, this time I'll start with Coach D.
It's gonna snow in June in Cleveland, Ohio.
You didn't even let me ask the question, man. Let me ask. I said I'm starting with you. I didn't say you start off America. I was
Shock America. I apologize. Go ahead.
Like I said, thank you. Man, respect your elders. The NBA draft. Coach, let me ask you. In regards to the Cavaliers, man, how big, little, tall, or small is this NBA draft, man, when it comes to the Cleveland Cavaliers?
Man, I ain't even talking about the draft. Today, America, LeBron James opted out of his contract. So whatever they had planned last week, yesterday, this morning, is over with.
He's a season ticket holder. Let me tell you something, about 13, 17 years.
Okay, I'm gonna give him my take because he asked the question. I'm gonna respect my host. Listen. Before this announcement came down and shook the world up this morning, I believe it was going to be Jabari Parker. I don't believe anything about his bad workout or he tanked the workout or he didn't have energy and missed his shots. This is called silly season in the NBA like it is in the NFL. The week of the draft leading up, somebody wants Jabari Parker.
There's a lot of talk.
Yeah, somebody wants him to slip or somebody wants to put bad papers on him because they want him. But
Right.
what we were talking about off camera is the proposed deal that the Utah Jazz is proposing.
Right.
Now, if they want LeBron back, and
Whoa. Specify they who.
the Cleveland Cavaliers want LeBron James back, and you can't, I'm gonna say you can't, but if you're gonna make a pitch to him about what you can put around him, what we say, 4 is better than 1. Because if you draft Parker, that's one player. The Utah Jazz are offering Derek Favors, Alec Burke, the number 5 pick in this year's draft, the number 23 pick in this year's draft, and a future pick.
Wait a minute, I think the number 23 pick is the Hornets.
No, it's 5 and 23 this year. They may have got it from the Hornets, but it's their pick.
Okay.
And a future pick, only for the number 1 pick in Jared Jack. What do I sign up at? I will go, look, I was suburban, I have 2 vans, that's my family's personal van, I will go pick them up.
Why you telling me right?
They can stay, and
All we got is 1 car. Listen, I got 4 vans. I'm driving down the street. You gotta see me if you can come
America, they can stay in my house. They can, listen, wife can cook up some wingdings and to give her come pick them up. That's a deal, James, the good that you made in your sleep. Yes,
Well, we're not disagreeing with the deal, Coach. I'm asking you, why is it the mantra or the contention here in Cleveland that we can't win unless we have LeBron James? Because I'm gonna say this, that what you just put forth, that to me sounds like the making of a different type of nucleus and a different type of core.
If you look at what you just said, the nucleus in the core, because taking LeBron out, that's to me the San Antonio move.
Oh.
That's a team building thing.
Oh.
And I would push and encourage the Cavaliers to do that, whether LeBron comes back or not. That is, I cannot believe that that's a Utah making that move. They're even proposing that
But at the end of the day, though, again, I'm saying, if you're building a team, are you building your team conducive to LeBron James, or are you building your team conducive to winning an NBA title?
Well, there's a difference. There is a difference. That deal is irrespective of that difference. That deal gets you LeBron or gets you a team that's great without LeBron. That deal, if true, should be something that they should have done yesterday. It makes no sense. You're getting too much in talent and too much in opportunity to do that. And if the end game is bringing number 6 back home, if you will, what other team in the league would have that benefit of having that type of youth, that type of ability, and that type of cap flexibility to not only surround you with that young talent, but also give you room to get another player within the draft if you want LeBron back. If you don't want LeBron back, what type of move gives you that type of talent, that type of flexibility, and the ability to bring in somebody?
Gully, stay here. If they had made that move, just think about this, Gully. If they had made that move for just Favors and Burke, I would still took it.
Yes.
And listen, you got Burke and Favors, y'all. You still have 5 and 23. Do you know how many GMs would take that right now for a veteran player that's living and breathing right now? Out of 32 teams, you still got to give me 5 and 23 for James. Bye. I give you 5 and 23. Oh, really? Yeah, that's how I'm sorry. 5 and 23. I'm sorry. I'm here to give out sprinkles. But again, 5 and 23.
Man, don't crap on my life.
Listen, Jay, man, straight up. You get, we go for the leave the water away on a lot of this. You go to Portland, that's how you 5 and 23 this year. Was Allen, Allen Rich Paul Allen, he's taking that money. I mean, he's taking that move. You tell anybody who got a star, family besides KD, or Blake, and whatever, but any young star in an organization will take 5 and 23 in a heartbeat. I don't know. I promise you. I pray that this deal is legit.
Okay, and that's again. Let's say that this deal is legit. Why is LeBron even in the equation then at that point?
Because you're sending me the message that we can build. We want 1 through 12. Because you can't really knock us because it's 31 other teams doing the same thing as Martin J. So you really can't knock the cat. And I understand we talking about it because we live here and this is our town and we doing this. But trust me. That every GM now, out of 31 teams, saying, I got a shot. And I believe that's why he opted in a week early to look at all options.
And but are they saying that they have a shot based off of what they just saw the Spurs do, or based off the fact that LeBron didn't just opt it out? You understand what I'm saying? Because
I know this is the draft show, but when we look at what just happened, that's why David Blatt is now our coach.
And we're gonna get to him. We're gonna get to him.
That's why. But the idea of it is, with LeBron, not even with irrespective of that, that's why David Blatt is our coach. And that's why what you do with the draft, when you do that, that's why it's even more important that you actually made this move for him. Because I think that there are a couple of players in the draft that suit what you're going to do when you have him as coach. And I think those players do not play in the United States of America. And I think those players are the players that they should look for. Or there's one guy, there's a Jabari that we need to look for. And that's what you do, what was it, the 5th pick? Yeah, you go after Jabari. Which Jabari? Brown, right?
Missouri.
You go after that Jabari. A proven shooter that can shoot from anywhere on the floor, because the idea of it is the Cavaliers basketball is now going to be passes, cuts, and open shots. Okay? Driving to the basket, that's nice, but that's not what's going to be modus operandi for the Cavs. And in this draft, you can adjust all of those needs.
So basically you telling us right now and to the people that if it goes right, we'll be the San Antonio of the East.
That's what we're looking for. That is the reason why he's here. And also, on a side note, did you also know who the Cavs assistant coach is now?
Tyronn Lue.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Sorry.
No, you good.
Don't
worry about that. See, here's my overall contention.
Okay.
We keep talking about the Spurs as and the this and the that. Is all of this is rocket science or so to speak. I'm not going to say rocket science. Like this, like they did some miraculous thing. All the Spurs did, and this is what we call simplicity. All the Spurs did was say, you know what? We're going to bring back that lost art.
Yes.
Mid-range jump shot.
Absolutely.
That's all. So I mean, it's not like the Cavs going to be the Spurs of the East. The Cavs just need to have the perimeter, the middle, and the interior. But you know, behind the three, that's what we do in basketball.
Okay, how many times we can talk about with coaches that we feel is stealing money because they want to try to divide 0 to 0 and it ain't that deep? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
No, stick to it. I tell people all the time, Belichick and Popovich are my two biggest examples because they take all the credit and they let all you guys blow them up, but they sit at home laughing like, it's not that deep.
And you know what?
It's not that deep.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. I want to mention this. Speaking of Belichick, I was just watching NFL films. They're doing these replays called America's Game. It's an excellent series, by the way, of past Super Bowl winners or whatnot. And they did the 1990 Giants. And when they got in that Super Bowl against the Bills, Belichick said he went to his defensive guys. And this is Carl Banks and Harry Carson and Lawrence Taylor all saying this. It was like Belichick said, just trust me. The game plan is we will win this game if we allow Thurman Thomas to get 100 yards rushing. And he said his defensive players, we was like, what? Well, you know, that's you cut the right. And he said because Belichick, when he looked at the tape and said that in the previous two for the Bills, leading up to that Super Bowl, the divisional and the AFC Championship, they had scored like 48 or 45 and 51 points respectively. And Belichick said, the way we beat them is punish their wide receivers. Let Thurman get his, but punish their wide receivers. And he said, after a while, it was like, all right, we buy it. You know, we're wrong with it. And sure enough, we all know the end result. Now, I took a Scott Norwood missed field goal for it all to, you know, pan out or whatnot. But still, the game plan was in effect throughout that entire Super Bowl because at the end of the day, what? Again, Buffalo was averaging almost 50 some points a game, and they held them to what, 19?
Right.
So, I mean, my thing is, again, basketball, any sport really, if you understand the fundamentals of the sport, it's about simplicity. It's very simple. It's not about it's his system or your system. It's just the system, as we said, or as I said last time we were here. But, again, what I want from the Cleveland Cavaliers is 94 feet. Do we have enough here, or with that deal, and with the coach, who we're going to get to David Black, we're going to talk about in a minute, will we play basketball 94 feet?
With him and the guys here, you make that Utah trade. We were talking, you don't even, with Black and Popovich, and with this deal that's allegedly on the table, I believe positions are erased. You just have players on the floor. You just have basketball players. Now the point, whatever, because the ball doesn't stick, quote, what it's supposed to do.
Right.
And their offense is predicated on, when he does, they chop up the floor, almost like a boxer cuts off a ring and chops up a ring. Popovich has mastered chopping up the court to where a normal coach or a normal team would say, we got to defend this way. Because they're going to come down, they're going to set up this way. Pop is at his best on out-of-bounds plays at the timeouts from side-outs and underneath the rim because he shifted the court on you. Yeah. And if you can take advantage of all angles of the court, you're a bad man. Okay. And then you have to be ready to either shoot or pass in a second at any time you get on the court. And like in this situation,
repetition too.
Constantly doing it and having high basketball IQ players on the team and on the floor and that can shoot. If you're open, you've never heard Popovich telling the guy, hey man, stop shooting so much. Or we got a gun on our team. No, the theory is be open shooting. If you ain't passing, then you move.
But you know, let me ask both of you all something.
Okay.
Why is that such a challenge for players?
Yeah. Why did it take 18 years for this guy to really get his due? Yeah. Everybody wanted the hybrid. Remember you all hybrid form?
Yeah.
And the stretch forward and the point forward.
Stretch 6, 7.
He's never had a point nothing.
Yeah.
Man, it's almost embarrassing. I told you in the finals. Miami, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, and those guys should be embarrassed because they got beat because Greg Popovich made them think. They should feel, as a man, they should feel absolutely disgusted and disrespected. I beat you athletic dudes by making you think.
Okay. Well, let's discuss David Blatt here for a second.
All right.
Oh, y'all didn't get what y'all wanted for the draft?
I told you, Jabari Brown.
I thought the host of the most. Who you want, man?
I told you what I wanted. Players that play 94 feet. I mean, my guys. See what I'm saying?
I'm glad you said that though, because you know what? I had to say, as strong as I am about thinking that it would work with having Jabari Brown, as a pure shooter, because I think that the team's going to be more of a shooting Euro style team. I do have to say, I say that because that's the best maybe fit for them, but that is rather disappointing because I think that you should always look at a player, no matter what, that takes pride in playing defense. Guys who think that that's secondary, I do have to say
that's the way of the league now, though.
Fair enough. So
it's secondary, but as you can see,
right.
So you mean in the 2014 draft, the Cavaliers select players that can play 94 feet? I don't think that's the name of it.
but it's mine, though. I'm gonna tell you what you know what?
That's how I never look back at Jerry players that can play 94 feet in the league.
Okay. That's a long last name. Yeah. Long last name. Players that can play 94 feet.
Okay.
How big is number? 94? 94.
Who's his first name?
Feet. Feet 94. How can you tell me? You just put me on black, try to put me on black with the folks out there. I didn't say the name, so I'll pick which one I like, and you're going to tell me I'm wrong. That was wrong with you. I know that's what's wrong with you. Everybody wrong. Did he play in the EuroLeague? He played at Basketball University. That's what a.k.a. Naismith U. That's what I want to do. Like I said, man, let's talk about David Blatt. Now, I read a headline in the Plain Dealer, and I got the Plain Dealer here.
Mr. Davis.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch. This is the Bad Sunday's Plain Dealer. And I brought this along because I found this interesting. It said, Blatt brings decades of experience to the Cavs. To me, would you say that's ambiguous?
No.
Would you say? I'm not saying that he doesn't bring experience, but they left something out.
He got a legitimate resume.
Oh, I'm not knocking his resume. I'm saying he doesn't bring NBA experience.
No, that is another title of the league. Coaching is coaching. And I coach youth football. I guarantee I can walk on the high school field and make it work. I guarantee I can.
Okay.
So if this is the title of the league, and I tell you on my saying you wrong, and that's a loaded question, and I'm glad you asked that. But if you can do that, if that's what you do, it can translate.
Right.
Like I said, my kid stopped in 7th grade. I'll guarantee I can walk on the Glenville, Ignatius, whatever, and I'll make it work.
Okay, so let me ask this question then. Are you saying there is no adjustment period, or if there is an adjustment period, it's a short one?
It's a short one because it's still basketball.
Yeah, it's still basketball.
Right.
Now they got
in terms of it being NBA.
Okay, let me ask you something.
Because are the rules different?
Hold on. Let me tell you something.
Okay.
The EuroLeague is more physical than the NBA. So he got leg up under. Those guys scrubbed it out. They, again, we were talking about a couple weeks ago about the heat in the gym. Yeah. All those gyms over there get AC. So the conditions and things they have to play with, them dudes ain't tripping. Yeah. And a lot of times, how many times we said that the USA players are too defense when they go over there because those guys are all in on defense better and they don't like all that. Yeah. So, to me, I want him to stick to what he do. I don't want him to come over and get caught with the NBA game, that soft NBA game. I want him to get players and recruit players that's nasty, that's grindy, that's going to do the hard work stuff because that's what they do over there because they don't have the luxuries of the NBA. All the cowardice and all the prima donna stuff. Those guys play basketball to eat. Yeah. To feed their family, man. Yeah. And it's a difference over here when you got your bling bling and your belly outside to pick you up. And them dudes, they all have been walking from the arena, holding hands down the street to their hotel. Yeah. It's a difference. So I believe it's just the name is just the difference. It may be a little bit because, no, I ain't going for that, no. Ain't no.
There it is. Yeah, no. There it is, Coach. Stand your ground.
Yeah.
You got your beard shaved, now you all.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
But I also want to throw in, and Gully, I want you to pick this up. Tyronn Lue.
Yes.
You're welcome. You know, we will include you at times.
Oh, what a softball.
There you go, Gully. Yeah. After the 19-minute mark.
All right. And next week, he might have to wear glasses. But I'm just saying. Go ahead.
Or either a pork chop over his left eye. Keep it up here.
The Monster Show will be there.
You got to eat if you wear it over your left eye. All right. me over here. And I say that Black, to me, did something interesting by adding Tyronn Lue to his staff. That's why I was asking you, as far as, okay, if there isn't an adjustment period in the NBA, this guy can help me.
Tyronn killed it. Tyronn started what happened. That's a good question.
You want to switch seats?
I apologize. I'm gonna fly.
Well, to the point of what Delmar was saying, the idea of it is, and to your point, in terms of a buffer or a transition,
Right.
getting a guy who has been on staffs of great coaches for as long as he's been a coach, and matter of fact, as a player, he was with the Lakers, so he's been around great coaches his entire career. To have somebody with that mindset, to be able to understand what it is that the American player or what it is that the NBA player does or expects or what they tune into and what they tune out from. Having that on your staff, it's like having a translator. Really, I communicate effectively. I can get around the things that I can't communicate directly with. Tyronn Lue can help me with that. And then we can still continue, I can still do what I need to do, get the best from them, and still play basketball at a high level. I'm really excited about the Cavs actually picking this guy. And this isn't just a, hey, you know what? This isn't a niche pick, or this isn't a pick to really be obscure, to a head scratcher out of nowhere. It did come out of nowhere, but the idea of it is everybody watches NBA, everybody has a season pass, they don't watch EuroLeague. And we sit here time and time again, we look at the teams out west that are great. Look at the teams out west that are great. What are they made up of? Players from Africa, Europe, Canada.
Well, we got no other thing. Oh, they don't come.
Well, we didn't have his attention. We had him, we didn't have his attention.
Real quick on that, that's why I'm saying that he's a Popovich clone, because they say he took a team that wasn't even supposed to make the playoffs over there, and they won the whole thing.
Right.
So he predicates his team on taking care of your weaknesses and exploiting our greatest things that we do well. That's coaching, y'all. That's coaching. And to me, one thing, I don't even know him, met him and he watched the press conference, but for him to hire the dude who he was in the running with to become the coach, that's a dude who's securing his own skin.
Hey, but wait a minute. With that, which is why I'm really excited, props to Tyronn Lue for accepting that offer.
They're both bigger men for that.
Yeah, because that, in other arenas, other facets, that looks like, a person's ego would be,
Or pride.
would be, for him to be able to see it. So what does Tyronn Lue see in this guy to say, you know what, dude, we was in the run, I'd work for you. What does he see? So I think that
It's a win-win.
Yeah, it's a win-win. I'm really excited if you can get that type of attention, that type of respect from your contemporaries, and you haven't even, to start. That must mean you have
And listen, I read today that when he was on field,
We read it where? Because you got to consider the source in this business. You read
National
it?
Enquirer, Us
Yeah.
Weekly.
Right.
Hey, did you hear about J-Lo?
No.
I'm just saying.
I read today on Bleacher Report, shout out to Bleacher Report, that
What? Oh, no, you did. Oh, your card is tough. Oh, yeah, you on probation.
you told me to give it out, so I did. Listen.
You did tell him that. Why did you tell him that?
I said he had to. All he had to say was, "The source is good. I trust my sources.
Okay, listen, y'all.
I don't have sources. I just know people."
On field staff and on dock staff, Tyronn
My bad.
Lue, Tyronn's Lue's responsibility was to break down the other team's defense.
Oh, defensive coordinator.
Listen, but Doc said our biggest problem was, our problem was defending the three-pointer, the three-point shot.
Yeah.
So,
No, that wasn't our problem. Our problem was we came to our stars and let them do the ball off their foot and highlight the ref instead of the player.
No.
Oh, man, did I go off for the 10? Sorry, coach. Do you think?
listen, the Clippers' problem, Doc felt, was the opponent shooting a high three-point percentage. He gave Tyronn Lue that job to not only scout but figure it out. This year, the Clippers led the league defensively in opposition shooting three-pointer.
Wow.
Listen, they said on a breakdown of not 82 teams, 82 game schedule, it's 3 to 4 people on the team that breaks that down. Tyronn Lue done it himself for Doc. He done a job.
Did he not say 82? What did he just say?
82 games.
He didn't say 82.
Did he say 82?
But he corrected.
You know,
come on, man. Give him.
I'm gonna give you, I'll tell you what I'm gonna give you. A breathalyzer.
But listen, for that guy to take on that responsibility, to ask Doc for it, and for Doc to give it to him,
Yeah, that says a lot. That speaks volumes.
So you got synergy in your front office, in your main office.
now dropping down to the coach.
Now dropping down to the coach. The next part, the last part, which is obviously the most important part of having synergy, is making sure you have the right players to respond to that.
Okay, so, yeah, all right. I'm glad that segues into right here. What do the Cavs do at number 1?
Trade it to Utah.
I agree. If that Utah deal is sufficient, if it's true, and then if it's smoke is fire, if that's the deal, you turn the card in today, you turn the card in tonight, you turn it in every day to Thursday to make sure it gets there. You send it FedEx and you send it UPS.
So why don't you just wait outside then? Just wait outside.
Wait outside.
Okay.
If not, if that's some more smoke,
If not,
make the pick.
I still contend Jabari Brown.
At 1?
Why not? Yeah, why not? Because he's what the Cavs need at number 1. Now, we debated this before about picking the best for your team versus the best available, and I think there's definitely precedent for going either way. But I think in this case, because again he's still brand new and he still doesn't have a league, I think we want to give him the best available, and I think we want to give Black the best advantage he can. Since you invested heavily in, you risk your franchise by getting a coach that has never coached before. So let's be outside of all of our compliments and all of our optimism. Let's be honest with ourselves that you're taking a big risk by getting somebody that the league hasn't had experience.
So hold on, one of the attributes we just gave him was he takes advantage of your team's positives and goes against the other team's negatives. So you would want a player that can do multiple things. The San Antonio Spurs players, multiple players can do multiple things. And out of this draft, the player that can do the multiple things is Parker. So if Black needs him to post, they can shift the ball, rotate the ball to the post.
And I like Brown, but here's the thing too, is in this day and age of the NBA, to me, it's not number 1, number 2, number 3. It's not about the position no more. You know what I mean? I think so many players are, and most people would call it, what would you call parity, if you would. So many players are so evenly matched, or so across the board it's kind of even. Can you pick a guy at number 1 and really say he was a number 1 pick? Like I don't know, goes years back in the draft. I can't even think of a good number 1 pick right now. But maybe in the mid '80s, if you pick a guy, like let's say for instance, just for the sake of argument, Jordan was picked number 1. You can see I can see why he was picked number 1. Maybe after a year.
How about the '95 draft? The draft with Garnett and Kidd.
I don't know who
Joe Smith was number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, right. In other words, I'm saying I don't put numbers in next to the players' names in the drafting. I throw all that out. I'm just saying, to me, like we talking about best available. You know what I mean? Look, it's not even so much need. Okay, I want to be able to do this. Someone gonna get that guy. I just haven't had a number 1 pick. You understand what I'm talking about? Because some people look at the player and say, oh, like Shabazz Napier, oh, he wrote the number 1 pick or whatever. But if the guy's a floor general,
yeah,
you understand what I'm saying? And you need a floor general.
Look, again, if we didn't have Kyrie, and you had Dion, and you had other wing players, you had this and that, Shabazz Napier would be my number 1 pick.
There you go.
And because for one, he will be what Black needs to succeed. You give him everything he needs. Again, with all this unknown and whatever, come on, don't sell him shorthand. Give him all he needs. He needs players that can do multiple things. That's why I have a hard time thinking that De'Aaron Tristan will still be here. Because not only can only do one thing, Tristan only do a half a thing.
Well, and you know what? Another point about that though, you got something to consider heavily. I think because you have a big draft and you got a brand new coach. Kyrie Irving is in his last year this year, right? Mm-hmm. This is this season.
No. This is last year for option. He had 2 more.
Right. He had 2 more.
He literally had 2 more years left under contract. They didn't have to offer him not a dime. They could just roll this out for 2 more years. But this is the beginning of his team option to extend him.
Team option.
Right.
Yes. Okay, so we okay. All right, team option.
Yeah, no, he's not a free agent, but again, I have a hard time trying to relate Tristan to anybody on the Spurs. And I'm sorry, y'all, I have to go there because they're the world champions and they set the blueprint that I'm gonna follow.
Yeah.
That I'm gonna make my comments and all my facts based on those. He don't remind me of nobody.
Ain't nothing wrong with copycatting him.
Yeah, he's right. It ain't Duncan. Splitter got, first of all, again, high IQ. We talked about last week. He brought the ball out of the little man world. They took it. One time out, they talked to him. It was up here for the rest of the series. So I don't think Tristan can do that. So no, Tristan reminds me of nobody on the Spurs. So I have a hard time thinking he's going to be here. So, you know.
Let me ask you this then. Let's say that scenario plays out.
Which one?
Utah.
Okay.
Utah scenario. What do the Cavs do then with the remaining picks?
5 and 23.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Listen,
5, 23, and 33.
right, it's in the second round. So look, let me throw some names out here at you. Now I don't know which spot you would take the guys in or whatever. I'm just throwing my prospects, the guys I like.
Okay.
I'd like to see in a Cavs uniform if you would, minus LeBron James.
So can we yay or nay you or gong you?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
You really want to go with me, man?
Come on, man. Let's go.
Okay, my man Gordon from Arizona. Yay or nay?
At 5?
No, stop right there. I'm not
saying we had the picks.
No, I'm saying what do the Cavs do with the other picks? But I'm saying take out the number where they would be picked. I'm just saying guys I would like to see in a Cavs uniform.
Oh, no,
possible.
okay.
With whatever. Let's say the Cavs got 4 picks left, regardless of which those number of picks
Let me
are.
get it.
Right.
Let me get it.
Okay, Gordon from Arizona. McDermott.
Let me get it.
No.
Wow. What? Wow.
Just keep moving.
Let me tell y'all something real quick about that. It's something to say about a player who played under his father, a coach's kid. Don't underestimate a coach's kid.
I got to agree with him on
They
that.
get the most. They're the most disciplined. Their fundamentals are on point. They got the most pressure because their dad is the coach. So don't underestimate David McBuckets because his daddy was his coach.
And you know, when you start having this Elmer Fudd moments, you know, he's serious. He's passionate. Okay, hey, Coach.
Yeah.
Woo!
We'll talk good. Let's go.
What about Adrian Payne from Michigan State?
I ain't know about you on him, Jay. You like,
Oh my God!
Jay, you love him, Jay. To me, what we're paying is a dump or a 3. Nothing in between.
No, for me, with Payne is Tom Izzo, Michigan State, and lineage.
Izzo go to the NBA?
Yeah, he might as well. You don't have to. You don't have to go to the NBA. I tell you what, the track record. You cannot dismiss. You talking about don't underestimate the coach's kid. Don't underestimate a program's track record either.
Okay.
Going to that next level.
Okay.
Moving right along.
That was the only one.
Yeah, I mean, really. Do you need to mention Duke? Yeah, right. Meanwhile.
Hold on, Cuddy. So what you want, Gully? You want?
Yeah, Cuddy Gully. Yeah, exactly. Cuddy Gully. Because you could. All right. Hold on.
Yeah, same. Yeah, you want Payne or not? That's your dirty work, dude. I ain't gonna even have a Jay hiring. Jay love you.
Well, yeah, guys that play, I'll have to say, because I still think you can't underscore the idea of somebody who wants to defend, somebody who takes advantage. Yeah, so.
Okay, yeah, because at the same time, let us not forget that there are some college coaches who have put the lid on cats in college. You understand what I'm saying? They get to that next level, and they be like, man, I didn't see that guy.
Right.
Not to that degree. Harrison Barnes comes to mind.
Wow. Right.
Shabazz Napier.
Absolutely.
Yes. Without a doubt.
Clean Anthony Early, Wichita State.
Woo! That's my man.
Okay, wait a minute. What can Clean Anthony Early do that Adrian Payne can't do?
Man.
Oh, vice versa.
Click.
Yeah, that's
Early is a grown man. 4-year senior, played on 2 teams that ran 23, 24 games in a row 1 year, then they lost. Listen, Early is a beast.
And that really was the only big that they had over there. So
Listen,
I can't. I'm not gonna.
And remember, really, when we look at the Cavs, if you look at the Cavs organization, look at the roster, they need help there.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
The Cavs,
Because Early was 6, 4,
Early's a 3.
He's a 3?
Yes, sir.
I don't think so. Wait a minute. I don't think so.
He's not a 4?
I don't think so. So you telling me he played a 4?
6'7", he's a 3.
He's a 3.
But he played a lot in the paint, a lot.
College they up your position when you're the biggest player on the court. I mean, he was looking like lower down. I mean, dude is cut.
Okay, so then he's a specimen. So then what do you do with Bennett? Is he out of here?
No, listen. You take basketball players. Remember, we take our positions off. Remember,
Okay.
with Black and Popovich.
Okay.
Well, you get a yay from me on my man earlier.
Okay. And what in?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay. And what about Daniels from UConn? Man, who like everybody? My God, man. This is a yay and nay thing. Look, that's what I'm saying, man.
Hey, listen, y'all. He gonna tell me the yay and nay.
Your drinks off. Listen, at the midnight.
Listen, y'all. He gonna say the yay and nay segment, but he's got all the good players. So when I'm
we haven't gone through everybody just yet. And second of all, these are all guys that I watch. See, I don't watch Chad Ford, because Chad Ford is
you agree with the guys that you watch.
Oh.
He looking for back next week.
I just like starting something. Okay. What about my man Robinson?
Michigan,
Cliff Robinson?
the third, the big dog.
Big dog son.
That's...
Oh, no. See? Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. Yeah.
What's my utility?
Yeah.
Yes.
But you should.
Wow.
You just emotional about the word. You sound the word about
Yes.
emotion.
Yes.
I'm not so.
Why not?
Because he got lost. But listen, last year, to me, he should came out last year with Hardaway and Burke because he showed a lot last year. He came back when he was on, but nobody was stopping.
Anybody out there want a job? Because these two right here, the cars on probation.
Hold on, y'all. This year was Stowski got to shine. Robinson put.
You don't think they put a lid on Robinson so that Stauskas could shine?
The coach?
Yeah, why not?
No. For one, I would give it to the dude who I'm familiar with the most that helped me. On that national championship, team that went to the national championship, Big Dog Son played a role against
Stauskas brought out two
a couple of these threes, but I mean, he played against the big boy. He caused a matchup problem that Patino didn't really adjust to too quickly. But and that's why I said,
Well, I mean, if he had if
the team was better.
Yeah, if he had a bad year this year, you look at what he has shown his ability to do. And what does he do that the Cavs can use?
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. What about Russ Smith, Louisville? No.
6'1", he's a little dude.
All right.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah, but see that. I don't like that either. I don't like that. I don't like knocking the guy's measurables. This is how you play.
Do you play big?
Do we play big? That's what I want to know.
I don't want to know, but I'm just saying. Just on account of his height, I can't just outright dismiss
And
it.
in the league, Glenn Robinson will have to play the 2.
That's fine. Whatever he has to play. Is he a winner? Can he get it done? That's what I said, son. All right. What about Marble? Yes, the Marble. Iowa.
Get notes. He's looking at his clip.
Yeah, I'm looking at notes. Absolutely. I'm sorry, niggas, I'm going to be precise and give you guys correct information.
I'm loud to see the car fall down the aisle. Because you please give me some great balling. I'm just saying, man.
Marvel, I ain't flattered with it.
All right, let's keep it rolling then. What about McAdoo, North Carolina? Yay or nay? Or nay yay?
You know what? Hey, I know what you're going to say. You're going to hit me with the pedigree and told me
I know the pedigree. That's right. Yeah, the pedigree. Anyway.
That's a pedigree.
I know you didn't. You said the pedigree.
He said,
Oh, wow. Hey, how you got to start? Wow. We got the P-Rolls.
I know we turned into the shop English class.
Yeah. That's good.
You got Professor James.
person, but I'm saying a pedigree. I ain't never
American. I was on the E.
No. That was no. You couldn't get there. You didn't miss the couple. You were 2 or 3.
Yes and no.
Yeah, nay.
Hey, he intrigued me. McAdoo.
Oh my God. Yes or no?
He intrigues me.
I'm
say no. Okay. What about Harris from Virginia? I think he's power forward.
Harris?
Yeah, Joe Harris.
Yeah. Yeah, he opened up some eyes on doing that.
Yeah, that team was good, but he shot a lot.
Yeah.
He shot a lot.
Oh, now he's trying to say. So what you saying, Coach? You ball?
He's a volume shooter. I mean, he was the best player on that team.
Well, whatever. What's wrong with volume shooters? Yeah, in the EuroLeague style, in Euroleague basketball.
That's fit. This is why I
So he's going to turn a volume shooter, and anybody else will take a hit or take a
He
hit.
shot the balls, all the balls.
Oh, okay. What about C.J. Fair from Syracuse?
I like CJ.
I like C.J.
I
Fair.
like CJ too.
I like C.J. Fair, baby. He a sleeper in my book.
And he played in the real Big East before they went to the ACC, so he know how to get the numbers.
AC Salty. Yeah, I got you. But did you
You
say
can send your emails to Jay.
yeah? You didn't say yay or nay.
Fool, he's through over there.
Right, C.J. Fair.
yeah, I'm
We're on the baseball.
I fairly, nah.
You fairly. Okay.
Nah.
Okay, and then rounding out our top 6,000.
Yeah, right. Like this was the draft here?
Hey, I just said players that I personally watched more than, and I didn't.
We took the number off. We just sent him the category.
Yeah, and right, exactly. I'm not talking about players I saw on YouTube. I'm talking about that I actually sat down and watched. Whittington from Western Michigan and Thames from San Diego State.
I'm not hip to the Western Michigan dude, and Thames is decent. First of all, I gotta go back to Kawhi Leonard, San Diego State. My man.
Oh, now you talking pedigree. See what I'm saying?
I did not know that James copyrighted the word pedigree, and he's the only one that can say it. I apologize. I did not know that.
Yeah,
James is the only one that can say pedigree.
Do that again. Apologize.
No. Steve Fisher is putting them in the league, baby, and they staying.
Okay.
Steve Fisher put them in the league.
What you say?
No. That's
Just flat out no?
Just no. Flat, no.
No, he has to give a reason. He
No! How you know? How many of these is no? He just no. Look, y'all, it's been fun. We got to run.
No, he got to say something.
No, he don't. Okay.
How you gonna slam my man like that before the day before the draft and he ain't gonna give no backup on that?
No.
Why you don't want him, Doug?
Because I know.
You can email him.
No, this is not what it counts. I mean,
You want to slow down things?
Now I'm saying no. That's all I'm just saying. There's no. That's all I got for you. Just no. That's it. He ain't got to no.
It's been fun, but we got to run. We'd like to hear what you all think. Email us to shopreport365@gmail.com. Hit us up on Twitter @theshopreport. And remember, y'all, next time y'all really want to know something, just come to the shop. Walk-ins are always welcome. Not these two. Holla. Peace.